Hey guys, what is happening? It is your absolute boy from the squad. It's Connor Talks. We are heading back to Australia tonight in fact, at about 10 p.m. We checked out of our hotel at midday today, and our flight is like 9 or 10 p.m. tonight. So we have a stupid amount of hours to kill. We're currently sat in a place called Lumpini Park in Bangkok. We've had a burger. I've already had a beer. Why not? Get into it. But yeah, wasting time. Looking forward to our flight tonight, and super excited to get back to the van tomorrow. So we chilled at the park until the evening and then walked back to our hotel, which actually took about an hour, but it was quite nice to get the steps in, especially before being stuck on a plane all night. We then booked a grab to the airport, waited around and hopped in it. It was about an hour grab to the airport from the hotel we were in, which was in quite central Bangkok city. It felt really sad to leave Thailand, but to be honest with you, after 2 months, we were kind of keen to get back to Australia. So although we were sad, we were super looking forward to getting off the plane and being back in Oz. Before getting to the airport, we'd heard a lot of horror stories of Asia, specifically Asian airports. So we were worried about the queues, so we arrived 3 hours before our flight, but actually there wasn't really many queues at all, so we had heaps of time. We were all good, and we could not resist one last Subway before we went back. It tasted great. It tasted really similar to Australian ones or Subways in the UK, which I suppose is no surprise, but the only weird thing is they didn't have Italian herb and cheese bread, which is always my go-to. The plane left the airport in Thailand roughly an hour late, and that was because there was a volcano that had exploded or erupted in Bali, so there was a bit of a delay, and the overall plane experience was pretty crap, but that's standard. As we all know, when we fly on planes, unless you're flying first class, it's pretty crap, especially at night. The only good things about it were the lasagna, which actually was surprisingly tasty, and we did have a spare seat next to us, so we could kind of try and lean on and fall on the side to try and get a little bit of rest, although there wasn't a lot of rest to be had. The overall plane experience was pretty crap though, nonetheless. I will talk about it later on in the video to give you a reason exactly why. As you can tell, I'm pointing behind me there. We had a couple of people behind us. This is just gross. Like, there's just no need for it. I know planes are small, but that's disgusting. Who wants to be sat next to that? We got back to Oz at around 6 in the morning, and after 0 hours of sleep, we were grumpy, but we were still buzzing to be back in Australia, and knowing that we were going back to the mechanical gnome, our camper van, and knowing that we have the west coast of Australia to look forward to. We're going to travel around and we get to enjoy the life in Australia once again. We got back to the van at around 7 a.m. and as you can see, I'm on the roof. I had to quickly try and cable tie or ratchet strap down these bags and eskeys so they didn't fly off when we're driving. And I had to quickly reconnect the electronic system as well, because we were in Thailand for almost 2 months. So one thing I decided to do before we left was disconnect everything, just so we didn't come back to a crispy, burnt carcass of a van. But this was the packing process in the morning, no sleep, just vibes and coffee, and yeah, we had to chuck everything in the van. And as you can see, I'm already wearing my hat. Like, I've been in Australia for 10 minutes, I'm already burnt. The one other thing that was amazing is we had our Steam Decks waiting for us at the house there, so when we came back we had our Steam Decks to unbox and open. I'm going to make a separate video on those. If you don't know what they are, then stay tuned to find out. Woo! Alright guys, we've landed in Perth this morning after a horrible 7 or 8 hours on that plane. There was a girl sat behind me, and like, we reclined our seats, as you do when you're on a plane, especially at night time. You recline the seats a little bit to sleep. Everybody's seats recline this exact same amount. Anyway, I reclined my seat and she like hit the back of my seat, and I was like, okay, a bit strange. And then on top of that, every like couple of hours or so, whenever we'd like move about in the seat, just because it was not very comfortable, I'd feel her like knocking the back of my seat. So I thought to myself, all right, every time she knocks the seat, I'm just gonna go boom, boom, boom. And I started like fully leaning into the recline on it. And anyway, halfway through it, she was like, can you just stop? Can you just stop doing that? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, you're hitting the back of my seat. Anyway, like, it was shit night's sleep. I probably slept like 1 or 2 hours. Jen slept probably 5 minutes. But the important news is we made it back to Perth. We made it back to Australia. Happy days. I've just like checked the van out because it's been about 2 months, honestly, since we've been at the van last. So I had to reconnect the electrics quickly. I've kind of just chucked everything in the back of the van, or me and Jen have, and we're going to get some breakfast. We've got a campsite booked tonight in Lancelin, which is a couple hours drive north. But we've also, if you've seen on the video, you might not know what they are, but we all ordered a couple of Steam Decks. And we are super excited. I'll make a video in itself about the Steam Decks, what they are. They're like little gaming rigs, so super excited to get those going. We're going to go to Dome, use the free Wi-Fi, have some breakfast, probably have another coffee, and then see if we can download some games on our Steam Decks. And then we need to go shopping, get some food, and then we're going to head up north to Lancelin, get to the campsite, and then we can finally relax. So, woohoo! Woohoo! Back in Australia, baby! I was so hungry that when we got to Dome, I forgot to get my video camera out and record the process, but there's the finished plate. We absolutely smashed it. The Wi-Fi was pretty crap, so we didn't really end up downloading any games on the Steam Deck, so we decided to drive north to Lancelin, to our campsite, and this was the setup in the evening after we'd unpacked, got the awning out, and started cooking some dinner. It just felt absolutely amazing to be back in Australia, and more importantly, it felt unbelievable being back in the van and being on the road and having that freedom. So stay tuned to the channel for more camping related videos, more traveling related videos, more Australian related videos. Please like this video if you liked it, and I look forward to making some more videos soon. Catch ya later.